conspiracy theories of COVID wasn't real. It's like flat Earth people. Oh my look, the flat Earth people. The sky's not falling. No, I can get into paranoia. I think that central banks are closing, but they've always been. I think it's part of God's plan to take this capitalistic over centralized world down. I've always wanted a simple life. And as long as I got cellular Wi-Fi or anybody communicates with me electronically, I'm going to do distance healing as I can. And I'm using Wi-Fi, and I'm going to get a phone that works on the Wi-Fi. I'm taking notes, but I was listening to the Reiki sessions. I get quite well. I do take the backseat. Here's what Eli said in Australia. She said all these women are freaking out about DNA changes and all this stuff. I say, you're disempowered. And she said it too. You can change your DNA, everything of energy healing. So why do we worry? Why do we get into conspiracies and say they're doing this to us? Who? Who's doing what? I don't think anybody's doing anything to you, really. I'm isolated because everybody's all into fear. I'm not in the covert. It's just people don't respect older people in Canada. So I've been thinking of where to go. I got a girlfriend in the Philippines. She's working too much. But I'm thinking of going to New Zealand because I'm part Australian. I'll put through my Australian citizenship and get a visa there. And I'm building up some money while I'm here. I gotta turn the heat on. It's cold here. Oh, it gets cold and it's never heated right. So I'm gonna get a Bison heater, the Canadian company. It's just the temperatures and the variance of this forced air I hate. I like radiant heat. So I'm gonna get maybe a wood stove or not a wood stove, an electric fireplace. They're not real, but they give me a bit of comfort. And I'm just gonna put this on here. She's a little chilly today. It's on heat. No, it's on cool. See, that's what I don't like about this. It's not set up. I wonder if I could change it to an automatic system. Talk to the landlord here. Because I'm not really happy with the heating system. If it was on an iPhone or a computer that was regulated, it'd be better. I'm going to talk to them about it. I'm trying to realize I'm on my own. The family deserted me because I got into energy. I'm not the only one. We get into these metaphysical things and we're always deserted by people that have different ideas. I don't hate them, but I can't be with them. So I'm changing my name and leaving Canada. I'm not Catholic because they're against Reiki. I'm not for Shadi Guru or any of that. That's my practice. And I help people. And I'm just going to stay doing that. Cut off all the garbage on here. I don't like certain things. I don't like extreme rightism. It's a hate. It's the low energy. It's the low demonic energies like Joe Shapiro. He can go away from me. I don't want to see him running down. He's the problem. He's not the solution. Joe Shapiro and Jordan Peterson. They upset me. Why? I shouldn't let them, but seeing the toilet unflushed it upsets me. I have to have things tidy. So I'm going to try to block things on here, and that's the way it is. You got to have a tidy home. You don't want to see garbage and things that don't serve you. You have a mission statement in life. My mission statement is not fossil fuels. Years ago, I knew a man that was 98, going on to 100, horse and buggy. I'm a horseman, but I really don't like cars. I got my issues. They tend to be they ran over my dogs, killed my dog when I was a child. I'm dealing with trauma. Seeing my puppy split in two by cars that just say they're privileged to kill things. The unkindness of the world, the meat eaters. I don't eat meat. I eat pasta, fruit, and vegetables. Very small amounts of kale, maybe a little bit of greens to get them. I'm big on learning foods and very minimal cooking methods. Where you can throw it together, put it in the fridge, pull it out, or put it through a blender. But I'm not much for overcooking. I'm cutting down on things. I'm cutting down on. I love coffee, don't you? I like good coffee, so minimalize the amount of coffee I have and just buy good coffee, locally ground. And I'm gonna try to get red maker. Yeah, why? I'm taking notes and what serves me. This is the way Henry David Thoreau looked at everything. What serves me? I need guitar strings. I play a lot, and I want to save money. I need a legal system that I can get justice on the fly with business and writing up disclaimers on my services so I don't get legal hassles with people. And I think I'll be all right. But I have a hard time getting through, and it's stress. And I was just thinking, all these people are on here. I know Springer talked about you shouldn't let people bother you, but they always do. I'm highly sensitive, and I don't want to hear fascism or hate or anything like that, or conspiracy theories. My friend's a musician. She can't stand her husband because he listens to David X. It drives her nuts. It does me too. We're just highly sensitive people. And psychiatry highly sensitizes me to a bunch of ideologies of fear, ungodliness, and sloth. I love these terms to define what I don't want. Sloth in people's lives. They don't put any effort into changing things. They disempower themselves. They're slothful. They want to use Bitcoin or derivative things and buy houses and stuff. Well, it's taught me a lot. Be careful. I'm a guy that wants legal justice, and I want land rights. No energy companies, no logging goes through my property. Perpetual estate will. Like farming, mow it. No, it doesn't get used for mining or chemicals or anything in that area. It's got to be away from all the oil companies, the DDT and the pesticides and Roundup, all that stuff. Away. I was out in places, the Mennonites and Amish tend to move away because of the amount of traffic and the Robert Moses method of building more highways, more flow, more traffic, more congestion, more noise. But I'd lived in a cabin for a while. I love a wood stove. Basic heating sources. Heat, wood, flame. The elements, the elementals of nature. Iron is a heat. There's very simple ways to live. This forced air furnace. I got to turn the fan down. is not sufficient for me. It's it tends to turn the fan down. Fan's up here. It's not sufficing what I need. Just turn the fan down. Yeah, that's better. But I don't like forced air. I'd rather have forced air. I don't like it. We never had it in the olden days. The days of old. I studied the whole of catalog. I was just thinking how to minimize and not have forced air furnaces. I don't like them. They're just uncomfortable. I lived on radiant heat. I think that's better. And I'm getting back to digital, analog stuff. Get away from the digital. I'm an analog man. I go to vacuum tubes for my amplification. I guess to my niece now. She stole all my hi-fi and my audio, my microphones. Everything doesn't matter to them. No, they let their father die. Now, there's another thing. I got a lot of issues. So I wake up in the morning. I don't feel very happy, but when I care about other people, I got a woman in China I'm going to help, and a girlfriend in the Philippines. Do you think I love a woman working 15 hours a day to feed herself? And then you're pointing fingers Joe Shapiro at all the drug addicts up the street. Well, capitalism, free market capitalism has given hopelessness to the world. Am I a capitalist? Not at that form. No, I'm a minimalist, and greed has got a brick on it. Joe Shapiro, you Nazi. You're running down people on the streets. You should go out in the streets. See if you can survive. They're on the streets taking drugs because of a fentanyl opiate company that had no concern for human life. They just addicted it. So you're a real capitalist, son of a bitch. Excuse my language. Joe Shapiro, you're a little bug. And see, I'm getting triggered. I don't like people like you. I don't like far right parties. I don't like Nazis. Hitler was a Nazi and killed Anne Frank. You just get on here and shoot your mouth off because you can. Look at it. I'm triggered. Whew. I got PTSD compound. I'm trying to heal it from all the people like you. The narcissists, the greed and the hate and the anger, and the men that can't deal with women's equality. People that can't deal with equality of all people, egalitarianism, are egos and narcissists. They have issues. And I pray for you. If you want more than the other guy, you're addicted. Just be yourself. You don't need to be better. You don't need to steal from people. You don't need to manipulate the system so you can buy property and build houses and build high density places, flood them with cryptocurrencies, and put criminal money in them. Illuminati garbage. It has to die. The new earth has to emerge. The new earth, where little hobbit homes, just little dwellings and peaceful people, very simple lives. Community values. Not me. I don't know if we'll be using so much cellular information. Like, look at the disadvantages of cellular communication. We take them everywhere. We can't be real. We can't go into the parks and go for nature and brave and be real. I see a lot of women living in this pain body going on their phones all the time. And I wonder what the heck is that? They're talking on the phone. Beautiful nature around. My friend in Australia, she says, you know what you can do? You go on airplane mode and just turn it off. You don't need messages coming in. You need downtime. You need solitude. But somebody's been telling people that solitude's the wrong thing. It's psychology of rubbish. It's generalized statements like that I just disagree with. And I studied psychology, and some of it I can use. I don't get attached to it. But some people get into psych majors, and they tend to make that they're going to save the world with changing it their way through the psychological psychobabble. You can't do it. You can't change what is. The problem is with psychology in this, it avoids God and nature and peace and happiness. It's a judgment. It's another kangaroo court system, a diagnostic looking at people. I know spiritual teachers like Eckhart Tolle by Dr. Todd Grundon, he gets analyzed. So does somebody else I really like, and this uh, Teal Swan. They analyze her because she's had a bad life. They're in the past, holding on to life. We don't have a spiritual connection there into the darkness. They're meant to awaken. But awakening is not a part of psychology. It's part of this three-dimensional reality. This is a judgment. It's a discernment, that's all. And I've been rejected by family. I have a friend that's a psychic healer and teacher. She was rejected by her family. I prayed for her and I sent Reiki to the situation. She met the nicest guy, got married, got a horse back. I was so happy for psychic Alley. Love you, sister. Love you. You know how we hold back from saying love? Love you, brother. You know, saying love and not seeing dualities. I love people. I don't like hating people. And I have a problem with people that are hating. A pity. I pity haters. I'm sorry, I do pity you. I don't hate you. But I wish you'd stop your rants on here and make the place dirty. You know, somebody comes in. My wife was terrible like this. That's why I left her. I couldn't stand her running down other women, other people, and because she had problems. People are scoundrels that run down people. You know, they're typical scoundrels. Well, you hear me running them down. No, I'm discerning. I'm not running down. They got problems. They're angry and their discernment. And these right-wing parties are nothing more than anger groups. They're not to do with any ideology that's going to make the world better. Because they exclude things. They're dualists and they get into disliking this, disliking that. And they're trolls on Facebook. So I go on it. It's getting a little cleaner. But they'll attack you. And what are we learning? You can hide in the dark. I was at a Todd Grundon concert once. He had a picture of an old man that was very sad, and it was to be mindful of people suffering, of loneliness and despair. He started laughing. Put the light on him. And that's what Todd said. And then everybody looked at him. He says, this is a fool that hides in the dark. He pointed out what he was. He was not a conscious thinking being. Is that what it takes when you're attacking people that are spiritual? Is that what it takes? Or do we just walk away? No, we use tourmaline crystals and we stay away from all this anger and rage. You know, if you pollute the area with love, that's better. It's not pollution. That's a beautiful crystal. I love the vibration of rose quartz. A non non-attachment love. What do you call it? Unconditional love is pink. You know, it's a breast cancer color, isn't it? The pink rose quartz. Oh, it's a gorgeous crystal. I love that energy. Rose. Rose quartz. Nice crystal. I hold in my hand. Anyways, I am deeply spiritual. And I'm deeply rooted to the earth elements. I don't like oil companies. I don't like greed. I don't like anybody that defends oil. So we gain the progressive conservatives in, and I don't like guns because I've been shot at. And I don't want them. So I'm going to vacate Canada. I'm getting the forms and filling them out, and I'm filing for. I think I'll file for Australian citizenship, and by descent, I think I can file those forms. And then I got natural rights to live in New Zealand. New Zealand seems to be a very quaint, quiet place. Australia has a lot of weather conditions and problems, but New Zealand, I think it'll be better. Now, I could live in the Philippines. I might go there and marry her. She's a lovely girl, but I feel like I'm doing a rescue. But what am I rescuing? Somebody loves me, giving me love, and I receive it back, and I give her more love. And I think she doesn't need to work 15 hours in a mining canteen, just steady, constant. She's only 33. My Lord. My compassion says that's too much work. She needs a life to be at home. She wants babies, like most Filipinos. Well, I believe that in indigenous tribes we keep that sacredness of her raising a child and loving her, being kind to her, because I can feel the softness of her heart over distance. I don't hate Chinese people. I love them. I love people. I don't get into political ideologies. I've studied Marxism, communism, capitalism. I wasn't into hate. It was aversions of people pushing me farther away from the typical capitalism of Richard Nixon and the Republican movement of World War, the Vietnam War. It was horrible. 4 dead, no Iowa. It was really turning me off. Watergate and all these liars like Donald Trump and and religious ideologies of not accepting other people. That wasn't Jesus' teaching. It's a teaching of mankind. If they wear Gurkhas and anything, that's their prophet, their sacredness. Everybody has a sacred balance and everything. I talked to a bunch of young ladies that are Muslim from Ethiopia. Now, I had those ideas about the jihadis and stuff, but to them, they're obeying Allah's law. But they did say man's law is the problem. It's not Allah's law. They're beautiful young souls. And there's a sacredness in every tradition. I've prayed with Muslim faith, South and West. I prayed with First Nations people. There's a sacredness in every religion, everything. It's just to get out of the dualistics of what religions have divided us into. It's man dividing up all the time. So I see no divisions. That's awakening. That's a part of the awakening movement. There's no division in our lives. Just what we put barriers on with ideologies and the programs that we've had in our lives. Far right thinkers that come from far right families, programs. Far left's the same. And they're always right. I love what Dr. Wayne W. Dyer once said. All you can do, I guess it's the middle path, is just be kind. Instead of starting kangaroo courts and judging people, be kind. Have an empathic connection to people on drugs. Don't judge them and denounce them like Joe Shapiro does. That's a man, angry white man. And, I've always refrained from people like him. All my childhood, I could see men like that with short hair and, really ideologies I never liked. I don't like animal cruelty. I like animal justice. I love peace in the world. I died like a policewoman once. That's what I want. Peace in the world. We don't want violence. We don't want guns and people killing each other. Police are getting shot at. I love my police officers. I respect them. And I love them when they go in and say, somebody complains about the kids making noise on the street. They're playing ice hockey. They're playing street hockey. We got a complaint here. Go around. Oh, get the 3 cars over here. Walk off the roads. Come on, officers. Let's get out and play hockey with the kids. I love that. That's so beautiful. And I saw a video on there. He was going down the street. Snow was there, and it was beautiful. Earth angels are police officers that go beyond the means of helping the community and being kind to children. God bless you. They're the people I support, not the haters, not the ones that are always out. There's a man on the street every day I see him. F Trudeau, F pro-life. Pro-life. I wish that could be true. It'd be a nice world if we could have pro-life. But we got conservatives and right-wing thinkers that go against giving people money to keep children. That's the way I see that. And so we can't really have that. You can't serve 2 masters, the Bible says. Yeah, serve the master of entitlement. That nobody else is entitled. You can't have that. So people won't like my opinions if they're right wing. That's good. Because to wander off and leave me alone. I really don't agree with extremisms. And I've been a Green Party supporter, and it seems like it never got a fair vote in Canada. I support the environment and nature. I don't support cars. I have a driver's license, but I don't use it. There's a lot of people that use bicycles that are EV, and then they go around telling a bunch of stories. I don't need the stories on fossil fuels. This is just like a change to go carbon neutral. And it's so confusing now, you don't know what is what. Who cares? If you get an electric car, enjoy it. All this is a bunch of stories by oil elites that are controlling our world, and banks and central reserve. So what are we doing? We're listening to stories. But they don't want a story. They don't want anybody talking about stories like Neil Young. I heard a bunch of young guys say, oh, he's a storyteller. Well, it's all a story, man. You've been programmed. You've been programmed. And anybody tells you that fossil fuels are needed and the world's going to blow up with lithium batteries, no, I don't think so. It's all fear-based warmongering of the end of growth. And I'm a zero carbon belief. I believe in no carbon tax. I believe in full carbon tax, but nobody will go for it. Because the program got in there. Welcome to conditioning. And welcome Jorgen Peterson to spreading lies about climate. And may God have mercy on your soul. And because you're an angry man, I don't listen to you. My energy feels that you're got a lot of problems, so I don't like watching you. And do I hate you? No, I just pray your mouth shuts up. You're influencing people. I don't like influencers. They're just a new thing that McLuhan got in. I try not to influence anybody. I like them to make their own decisions, but dark psychology is an influence method, and I don't really like it. I studied it in college on marketing. What are we doing that for? To sell junk that doesn't belong to anybody? That's about it. If you can't make an honest living, don't do it. If you gotta make junk products, don't do it. It's just toxic now. The whole capitalistic free market system. They don't care about anybody except making money. And digital nomad, I'll tell you something. You go in and you don't even want to pay taxes on the country. Just keep going. We don't want you. You want to off book and buy houses and flip them and come in and buy up property and it doesn't belong to you. I don't want that because I'm an egalitarian. We're so wrong. You should read The Spirit Level. It's an interesting book of our whole body, everything's out of balance. Everything is out of balance. Our chakra zones, our meridian zones, our emotions. So today I tend to minimalize. I know what I don't want is a good lever to what I do want. I don't want to be around right-wing parties, and that's why I'm leaving Canada. I was always a Green Party supporter. I found my camp. But I can't even talk climate about the environment because of all the liars. So I have to depart that system. I'm doing a legal name change. I probably won't have too much technology, but people that want to get in touch with me will be on me. And you'll find me somewhere when you need me. But I just don't want to be a part of a society that keeps on destroying the planet. I'm giving up my Canadian citizenship. Oh, you'll lose your pension. No, I read that. I won't. It's part of me. But it'll go to an Australian system.